गौरांग गंधर्व गिरिधारी शिशि राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज शुद्ध गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। उप्स, नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जय। जय। All the associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, and all of their followers ki jai. Jai Shri Srila Baladev Vijabhushan Prabhu ki jai. I think for some of you it's his disappearance day right now, right? So Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. For us here in Navadip is yesterday. Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan, Jai Shri Krishnadas Kavi, no, Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Par ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shard Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री गंगा दशहरा की जय। श्रीमती गंगा देवी की जय। गंगा देवी's appearance की जय। जय श्री वामन देव की जय। श्री किंग भगीरथ की जय। जय जय श्री गंगा माता गोस्वामिनी की जय। I saw on some calendars it says it's her disappearance day, and some calendars it says it's her appearance day. So, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav or Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam. Jai Shri Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa ki jai. All the periodicals of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. The editor and head writer and everything of Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa, Srila Nityal Pravishya Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samāgata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Let's do a short Mangalacharan like we did previously. Let's see, where is it? Okay. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udhrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Surupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Vanchakalpatarubhya Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribol. Oh, and Shrivas, if you have any suggestions for like this is the Mangalacharan. I just took selected verses from our Mangalacharan that we do for the Bhakti Vinod Kiti Dhara program. But if you have any nice verses for this Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa reading, then we could use that for the Mangalacharan. You can let me know. You can share with me if you have any ideas.
I
If
feel
not,
like
we
these
could
are great, and that you're teaching me new Mangalacharans, always new materials.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
really
was
like
learning.
that verse for
I just
Saraswati
discovered it
Temple.
recently. Verse by Srila
Yeah,
Bhakti Rakshakshita Goswami. Yeah.
beautiful. And
All right.
every week I'm hearing it with you, and then it's starting to become familiar. So
Cool.
it's good.
Maybe we can make it. Maybe you can make a translation for it sometime, because that's just
Okay, yeah.
I kind of just stole that translation from somewhere else, and I quickly made a couple changes to it. But I think it could be a lot nicer, actually.
Yeah, maybe. It looks pretty good to me.
All right, let's see who's all here. Dandavat pranams, Shivas Prabhu, and Shri Devi Didi, Shubhananda Prabhu, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Sarveshwari Mataji, Ashray Prabhu, Manjuri Didi, and Vrinda Didi, Rasapriya Didi, and I see a bunch of other devotees, but I can only see the names of those who write comments. But Dandavat pranams to all of you. And also to all of you, all of those who are watching later on in the future. Pranams. I'm in our WhatsApp group. Usually, I post at least an hour before an announcement that we're having this Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa reading. But today, I was out on the Ganga, like I was sitting maybe like 1 foot away or 2 feet away from the water of the Ganga. I was like almost sitting on the Ganga. And because for today on Ganga Dashahara, Ganga Devi's appearance day, we wouldn't get a chance to read about the glories of Ganga Devi, so I wanted to do something there. And I tried going live. I spent like half an hour trying to make the video go live, and it just was not working. And so I just recorded the video and I uploaded it just now. So you could find it on my YouTube channel and Facebook page, the video. Afterwards, you can watch it if you like. I read Srila Bhaktivinoda and is published in Rays of the Harmonist, Gaur Purnima 2010 issue. It's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's eulogy to the Ganga. And then I read from Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Kanda Chapter 1, Mahaprabhu's glorification of the Ganga. Very beautiful, extensive glorification of the Ganga there. And then I sang the Ganga Stotram. So I didn't get a chance to read about Ganga Mata Goswami though. So you could go to purebhakti.com. There's a beautiful article by Gurudev on that. But all right, let's begin our Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa session. So this issue was published. Anyways, I'm just going to hand it over to Śrīvāsa. You can do all that. Wait, let me let you share the screen. Okay. Śrīvāsa, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right. I haven't put the Western date in here, but I think it's something like March 20th. You can
I
see
put it in the YouTube video in the description. Let's see.
You did?
It is March 19th, 1928.
Okay. So, Shishi Guru Gauranga Jayataha, 7th of Chaitra, Tuesday, 1334, or March 19th, 1928.
You're sharing a screen, right?
Okay, let me start. There we go.
What time is it for you there?
It's like maybe 9 in the morning.
Oh, you're later than me. I forgot. I thought you were earlier. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, and we went to this Balinese temple yesterday up in the mountains. They have these water spouts everybody goes and bathes in. And I'm pretty sure I found a picture of, or a painting of Ganga Devi. I'm going to try share it later.
Oh, nice.
Balinese Ganga Devi. Anyways, statement of Nadīyā Prakāśa. The conceptions of those whose views are one-sided can never be called impartial. A one-sided view is not for everyone, so it cannot please everyone. There are two types of people observed in this world, Arthik and Paramarthik. The Arthiks are so attached to discussing Arthik, financial matters, that they do not even want to hear about Paramarthik, spiritual, supreme wealth topics. They do not want to find out if there is something better than Arthik topics. On the other hand, those who are known in the world to be spiritual tend to adopt one particular dharma and cultivate hatred for others. We do not praise such persons either. Paramarthik people are divided into two categories, Saragrahi, essence takers, and Bharavahi, burden bearers. The Bharavahi take the side of one particular doctrine. The Saragrahis say, human life is like a staircase. An immoral life is the lowest step. A life that is only moral is higher than that. Above that starts the life of theistic morality. Real human life starts from theistic moral living. A human being's life gradually becomes elevated from the life of the sadhak bhakta, practicing devotee, to the stage of the bhava bhakta. Whichever step one is on, one's duty is to cultivate whatever topics are befitting that step and gradually try to ascend to the next step. Those who want to stay stuck on one particular step end up getting implicated in bias and gradually proceed downward. If all one's Arthik dharma turns into Paramartha, then the inferiority of the Arthik dharma no longer remains. So, what is that? That's like Karma Yoga transforming into Nishkam Karma Yoga, going towards something higher. It is the purpose of the Paramarthi, one who is pursuing the ultimate meaning of life, to strive in such a way that various pious works for the good of the world, such as alleviating famine, engaging in patriotic deeds, establishing schools, hospitals, etc., will become elevated and turn into Paramartha. If we stay trapped in one thing, then we will not be able to know another, and then we will not discover what we must do. All right. Samālocanā, a critique. Now, this is interesting because this is something a lot of devotees criticize Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for. Or at the Gaudiya Math in general. In this month's issue of the monthly periodical Matri Mandir, within the Nana Katha section, we saw in the review of Sri Gaurapur Paravidyapit that the editor, sir, and editor, madam, have been somewhat mistaken about Gaudiya Math's speciality in establishing the Paravidyapit. They are writing, other Vaishnava groups accept everyone, men and women, regardless of gender. But in this group, there is no place for women. Whether this is good or not, we cannot say. Whatever one's capacity is, one should try to serve Bhagavan. If women are deprived of that right, then they cannot achieve anything in that regard. So, Sri Chaitanya Mat is at present a place for male initiates to practice Krishna Anushilan, Krishna consciousness. As there is not enough space at Sri Chaitanya Mat, devotee ladies do not have the opportunity to live there all the time. So sometimes they can stay. However, there are several Sevak Khanda facilities at Sri Gaur Sundar's birthplace in Mayapur and several other locations. So there was always a place for ladies to stay at Yogapith. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mother lived there for a long time. Where they can live.
And her samadhi is there to this day also, right? Under Nrsingadev
Yes.
and Gorgadada, it's a secret.
Yes. where they can live at all times. Though all four ashrams can enter the mutt, there is no need for lady devotees in the Grihastha ashram to live there and render service all the time. The Vanaprastha, retiree, brahmachari, student, bhikshu, monk, and paramarthi grihastha, spiritually seeking householders, can live there at all times. This is interesting. So paramarthi grihasthas. So I wonder if there are any grihastha devotees who were living in or around Shri Chaitanya Mutt. Like Kunja Bihari Prabhu was a grihastha, but he was often there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about his wife, but maybe she also came.
Yeah.
Can live there at all times, render service to Hari, and cultivate spiritual knowledge. All cultured ladies are permitted to participate as observers in the capacity of virtuous, disciplined grihastas. That's a nice way of saying we just don't want crazy ladies running around.
Also, this is a time, like during Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's time, just before that, Gaudiya Vaishnavas got a really bad name for, right, being very like loose love with ladies, and like they got such a, and so he was pushing back very hard against that, right? The bad name that Gaudiya Vaishnavas got.
There's a lot of issues going on. There was this one of the main Babajis that was opposing the birthplace of Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. He was supporting several widowed Brahmin ladies, and like living in like a commune with them. And then he'd taken responsibility for them financially. So that was part of his motivation to have a Mayapur there, have the birthplace of Mayapur there on the other side of the Ganga. And then in Navadvip itself, there was all kinds of scandals of it's like the same thing. It's still going on in Vrindavan. There's like the bhajan ashrams, the Bengali widows. Bengal has such a high population. There's many widows, end up being many widows. And then from Navadvip, they were being sold from Navadvip to places in like Punjab and Pakistan. So it was like it was a kind of like prostitution ring, going on, and it was common for like so-called for the pimps to dress up as so-called Vaishnavas or Babajis or sannyasis, etc. Yeah, it's really it's a really bad situation. Yeah. So you take that into context, it makes sense why the Gaudiya Mutt was and is still so strict. The management and Sevak Mandali, servant congregation, or devotees of the Paravidyapit, give utmost honor, respect, and attention to every male and female devotee. In Shri Bhagavan's kingdom, both men and women are honored equally, and both have equal rights to Bhagavad Bhakti. This is the conception of Sri Chaitanya Dev and the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. However, in the case of men and women who call themselves Vaishnavas, an excessive attachment that transgresses the individual's personal adhikar or eligibility tends to develop. So if you're maybe not actually following so strictly and seriously, then there's an attachment that can develop between the men and the women. That is, I think it's interesting the way it said, transgresses the individual's personal adhikar. It's like, the way I understand this is different people have different needs, right? So some people, and I think it's explained a little bit later, someone might be more attached or need more comfort than another person, right? So it's not judging that, but something that is excessive, something that is beyond that, that isn't like indulgent, can develop. This cannot be honored. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas say that every man and every woman can only really serve Bhagavan exclusively, separately of each other. Devotee men and women do not, in the name of serving Bhagavan, actually, okay, there's a footnote here. Where is it? Oh, okay. devotees are cautioned not to mix the relationship they have with Bhagavan with the relationship they have with their spouses, as do the Prakrit Sahajiyas. Okay, that's from me. I felt I needed to clarify that. I was translating this. Devotee men and women do not, in the name of serving Bhagavan, enjoy the earth and its victors' spoils like those on the path of karma do. Rather, they honor every man and woman as being worshipful gurus, knowing that their hearts are thrones for Bhagavan. The impersonalists go against bhakti and deprive female devotees of the right to serve Hari and treat them as objects of enjoyment. There is no honor for such perverse traditions in the teachings of the Paravidyapit. At the Paravidyapit, there is no aversion to service associated with Atreyi, Gargi, Sri Janava Thakurani, and others. However, they, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, are afraid of how prominent the thirst for enjoyment is in the Prakrita Sahajiya Sampradaya. So they preach and clearly emphasize that excessive attachment between men and women becomes an impediment to serving Hari. They say that prem for Bhagavan is not a propensity that is about conveying mutual attachment between animals, birds, gods and goddesses, demons and demonesses, men and women, etc. Bhagavat Prem is not about that. Rather, the only duty of each and every being is to cultivate devotion for Brajendra Nandan, or Paramatma, by their own individual inclination. Every man and every woman has the right to obtain spiritual knowledge. Therefore, it can be understood that some misconception has entered the Matri Mandir's beliefs about the Paravidyapit. We hope that in the next issue, they will publish their revised impression. The offense stemming from the allegation the Sampadika Mahoday, female editor madam of the Matri Mandir, has made, taking the side of the female sex, cannot be attributed to the Paravidyapit, because every student of the Paravidyapit is a servant of Shri Shri Radha Govinda. Every day they recite prayers like Dibyad Vrindaran Nikalpadrumada Shri Madratnagara Singhasanastu Shri Shri Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtali Visebhyamanus Marami. Shri Vrishabhanu Nandini is the source of all the goddesses situated in Paravyam, the spiritual sky, like Narayani, Revati, and other Lakshmis, as well as Shachi, Rati, Parvati, Jaya, Tushta, Pushti, Ila, and all the Brahmanis, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Antyajas, and other females situated in all 14 worlds. In other words, all female forms in existence are manifested from her. Without serving her properly, no one can become acquainted with Shakti Matatattva, possessor of Shakti, and gain his proximity. If one considers all these matters, then Sri Gaurapur's Paravidyapit cannot be liable for the offense mentioned in Matri Mandir. In the Saraswati Tirtha, holy place associated with Saraswati, Saraswati Devi is being worshipped. Therefore, the Vidyapit has no other worshipful object besides Paravidya. It does not worship avidya or any other sort of feminine energy. I feel like that last paragraph is kind of interesting. It's like a very subtle hint at Srila Saraswati Thakur's Nitya Siddha identity as a, Shuddha Saraswati Devi, or a special servant of Radharani. Something to think about. We are souls who are attached to Vishay, the objects of the senses. We have ended up so attached to sense objects that we do not have a chance to think about ourselves. We have countless responsibilities, like farming, taking care of cows, trading, earning money, dealing with famine, establishing schools and hospitals, helping our fellow countrymen, etc. But our most important responsibility, to think about ourselves for once, is something we are indifferent to. What is thinking about ourselves going to do? Will it just benefit us, or will it help our fellow countrymen and families? In response to this, the Mahajans have said, therein lies all auspiciousness. If one can truly be considerate of oneself, one naturally gains the ability to truly think about others. How can someone who cannot think about themselves think about others? Therefore, we say, think one time how, driven by hopes, you roam here. What joy you will reap in life. Who are you? Where were you? What do you want to do here? What work have you gone and done? Where will you go when your body falls? Why do you have joy, sadness, fear? Why this ego full of possessiveness attached to trivial victory and defeat, anger, violence, and hatred for others? So this is just kind of touching on the point of Swartha Gati, that Vishnu is the object or destination of all self-interest. The worship of Vishnu is actually what is best for each individual. And we're allowed to be selfish about that. To take our time from others. No, sorry, I don't have time to chat about everything that's going on in your life or the world. I need to do my Harinam or whatever. Vivāda-bhañjana. So Vivāda-bhañjana Vivad means argument, and bhanjan means to break. So the disruption of argument, I guess, or conflict. The world is full of argument and dispute. Hindus versus Hindus, Hindus versus Muslims, Muslims versus Muslims. The conflict between demigods and demons is not some new phenomena of today. It has been going on for eternity and will continue. There has not been a resolution to this conflict till today, so how will it ever happen? In this world, the enjoyment of one goes against that of another. Without obstructing another's pleasure, we can never achieve our own pleasure. Scriptures have also said that without conflict and violence, no one can maintain their life. Those who say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the earth is my family, are also implicated in disputes. This is not something surprising. Where there are things to enjoy and many enjoyers, there is bound to be conflict, bound to be this conflict. It is not like this conflict is only in this mortal realm. We hear of this sort of conflict going on in Svarga and other higher realms. When these sorts of disputes between the Devas and Asuras would become very serious, then Bhagavan would appear amid them and vanquish the unrighteous. Therefore, effecting a resolution between the two parties. When a ghastly dispute arose between the Kurus and Pandavas over a kingdom, then Bhagavan sided with the Pandavas and destroyed the Kurus, whereafter he granted the kingdom to the Pandavas. This is a story every man, woman, and child in India knows. But many do not investigate the reason why Bhagavan chose the side of the Pandavas. Perhaps many people will say that Bhagavan too, like us, is liable to the flaw of partiality. But really, he is not flawed by partiality, nor can he be, because to him, Hindu, Muslim, English, animal, bird, insect, worm, all are one. For him, there is no relative nor stranger. There is no home nation or foreign nation to him. What to speak of him, even those who have taken shelter at his feet do not perceive such dualities. So why did he take the side of the Pandavas? Destroying unrighteousness and establishing dharma is one of Bhagavan's pastimes. The Pandavas were naturally religious and one-pointed devotees of Bhagavan, whereas those on the Kuru side were by nature lacking in proper conduct and were inimical to God. Just as there is an eternal dispute between Lakshmi and Shani, so too is there friction between dharma and adharma. When a conflict ensues between them, Bhagavan defends the interests of dharma. That does not make him partial. When a father chastises his misbehaving son or a king punishes criminals, they are not guilty of being partial. In the same way, Bhagavan's adoption of the side of dharma cannot make him guilty of partiality. That is why we strive to elevate ourselves and try to help our fellow countrymen. But without Bhagavan's grace, there is no chance of these efforts producing any fruit. If we become righteous, if we surrender at the feet of Bhagavan, we will easily achieve our goal without effort. If we abandon the feet of Bhagavan, which are the roots of dharma, no matter what we do, we will not be able to find fulfillment. We will simply be wasting our time. Those who have even a little bit of faith in Bhagavan will surely accept all these statements. But there is another type of person, one influenced by bad association, to whom these topics may be laughable. However, theists are not bothered by the words of such persons. They will offer their obeisance to them from afar and proceed along the path of their duties with simple faith. You will see that in a very short time, Bhagavan heart and dispelled all the dualities in your consciousness. Resolution is only possible in Bhagavat Dharma. No manner of resolution is possible otherwise. Dharma has always been victorious. It is said in scriptures concerning ethics, Ayam nija parobeti ganana laguchetasam udara charitanantu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. One who thinks of in terms of mine and other is narrow-minded. A broad-minded person sees the world as his family. Others can think, this is my relative, that is a stranger to me, this is mine, this is someone else's. But for a magnanimous, exalted soul, the whole of the earth is equal. They, such persons, are equipped with equal vision for all. Okay, and then this is a letter that was submitted. Sent letter to the Honorable Editor of Nadīyā Prakāśa. Mahashay, today I heard some very malicious statements among several Prakrita Sahajiyas of Calcutta concerning the festival at Sri Mahaprabhu's birthplace. One person was saying, we, the Sarotiya Babajis, will not let Nadīyā Prakāśa be circulated among its opponents, so that all the news about Mahaprabhu's birthplace cannot be conveyed to them every day. Nadīyā Prakāśa can speak the truth every day, but as long as no one reads it, no one will find out the truth. A few Vaishnava antagonists who make their livelihood from writing have to form a group to obstruct the representation of the hundreds or thousands of sannyasis and brahmacharis involved in publishing Nadīyā Prakāśa. We have to pretend to insist that the Ram Sita temple is Gauranga's temple. As a result of feeding this notion, the assembly we had with Nadia District STO Shriyukta Advaita Charan Samanta Mahashay has brought him in favor of Ramachandrapur. Shriyukta Sadananda Babu will assert that Kulia town is Nadia. He has made friends with many government employees. Interesting.
Do you know, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, do you know when this, what they now call the so-called Prachin Mayapur, when that was established after Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance, right?
You mean like our Mayapur?
No, the Mayapur, I mean to say the birthplace, the yoga pit in Navadvip. Yeah. That was established after Bhaktivinoda Thakur disappeared, or like later on, at least, right?
As far as I understand, there's an article about it later on. There was someone who moved to Navadvip, after Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance, I believe, and then established that place. And even this person had written something even accepting or supporting Bhaktivinoda Thakur's conclusion and establishment of Mayapur. And then later on, he got influenced by other people, and started kind of singing a different tune. It's a
And even
almost
Vipin Bihari rejected Bhaktivinoda Thakur after that also, right? Like, and he started
really?
taking, even though, yeah, Vipin Bihari, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Diksha Guru, was, he was part of the Navadvip Dham Pracharini Sabha. And he was
Right.
fully in support of Mahaprabhu's appearance place being in Mayapur. But then after Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance, I think he also got influenced by these same people or whatever. And like, because it was such a radical thing that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur did at the time. And then he also started, like, I think he even wrote something in his magazine or something like that. And he like renounced, like, something like that, renounced Bhaktivinoda Thakur or something like that. Like, he didn't accept Bhaktivinoda Thakur anymore. And I think that's why Srila Saraswati Thakur, I mean, there's more other reasons also, but that's why Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was not very, yeah, didn't feel very kindly toward him.
Yeah, there's almost every issue, I think, from now on has something to do, and then some of them, like, as a whole, there's actually an issue that's like twice the size of the regular ones. It's all devoted to this topic. And so we'll get to go really in depth and hear from a lot of different people about the whole controversy. Interesting.
I just recently met, like, I had questions about this and I wanted to ask them. There's this devotee named Lalit Madhav, Lucian Wang, who is, you've heard of him, right?
Yeah.
He did his PhD on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he knows a lot on this topic, like just all sorts of, and so I wanted to, if we ever have any questions or anything, now I have a contact with him. So yeah, if we ever have any questions or anything like that to know more about this, maybe we could even have him on sometime to like.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, there's one particular issue that talks about in detail how Bhaktivinoda Thakur determined the birthplace, what proofs he used, what were the main sources of evidence he used, the main maps and records. And be interesting to have him on with that. I'll check which issue that is. Maybe we can plan that.
Yeah, it would have to be an evening session because he's in England and it's like 2:00 in the morning there. But yeah, anyways,
okay.
Later on.
Okay, yeah, right. Cool.
Oh, Sarveshwari Mataji. Yes. Sorry, Śrīvāsa. Yeah. Yes. You're muted. Your sound's not working. No, maybe Sarveshwari Mataji, maybe after the reading, you can mention because the sound's not working and then you can figure it out. Okay, Śrīvāsa, you can continue.
Okay. All right. Hope you get your sound worked out. There are other important details to consider in this context. In ancient Nadīyā, there is the place where the Kaji's samadhi is still present, untouched. This is one of the main proofs of Mayapur's authenticity, is the Kaji's samadhi. The Pojdar family has been living at that one place for 12 generations. There too is the stupa mound, consisting of the palace ruins of ancient Navadvip's Sena dynasty kings. In the Bengali year of 1252, Nadīyā resident Brahmin professors from Navadvip and Bilva Pushkarini and other places published their unanimous confirmation of Sri Mayapur's location. It was in this place that the Sena dynasty kings established their ancient capital of Gaurapur. Even today, some portions of this place are known as Balal Digi. The thousands of rupees that were proposed to be spent this year to restore that ancient site and establish knowledge of its glory has made certain self-interested parties burn with jealousy. Not only that, but they also want to pull all the glory of ancient Navadvip and establish it in Kulia. This is why they have fallen into such confusion, trying to twist the facts. But people who truly love their nation and are enthusiastic about real education are delighted with the progress being made. They are saying that their joy knows no limits when they see Sanatan Dharma being reestablished to its former glory. Hearing things like this, many in the anti-party are so upset they have stopped eating and drinking properly. or so I hear. The Mahajans have composed songs describing how, when the two Prabhus, Sri Advaita and Nityananda, were preaching Harinam at every ghat of Nadia, then Palaya Duranta Kali Porya Bhiprate. Kali fled in confusion. Many very aggressive individuals in Kulia cannot bear to see the development of ancient Nadia because of a kind of co-wife jealousy. Surely we do not say that there is no one there who believes the truth, but many people must agree with the orientation of the majority to live there. Soon a day will come when everyone realizes their mistake and learns to honor the truth. Their hearts are overcome with gloom, therefore they think they need to ruin everyone else's journey, even when they are the ones disgracing themselves. The members of Sri Navadip Dham Pracharani Sabha are propagating the glory of Sri Dham, and their violent rival committees have been opposing the service of Sri Dham for their own self-interest for several years now. If need be, I could talk about this constantly and expose this all openly. Shri Mulyavan Vidyabhushan. The purpose of human life. Living entities fall into two groups, Stavara, the stationary, and Jangama, the mobile. Trees, grass, plants, creepers, etc. are stationary. Mobile creatures are of two types, terrestrial and aquatic. Humans, animals, birds, worms, insects, etc. are terrestrial. And fish, crocodiles, etc. are aquatic. They're all roaming this world for, I miss a word? For their own individual purposes. Of all these creatures, humans are the most evolved. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, these four habits are in humans and in animals, birds, etc. The speciality of humans is that they can conceive of the world of dharma, whereas other creatures are indifferent to that. The authors of scripture have denounced those who are indifferent to dharma despite obtaining human birth and are preoccupied with eating, sleeping, and other physical activities like animals. Therefore, those who pay heed to the world of dharma are fit to be called real humans. All these humans are mainly divided into three categories, karmis, jnanis, and bhaktas. Each of these categories is superior to the one preceding it. Those who cultivate dharma tattva with the desire for the fruits of their actions invoke the karmakand discussed in the Vedas and are known as karmis. Those who think it is better to renounce the fruit of action because it is temporary are jnanis. And those who are indifferent to both enjoyment and renunciation because they know both are temporary choose to serve Bhagavan and are therefore bhaktas. These bhaktas are superior to all because they have taken shelter of the eternal dharma. Karmakand and Jnanakand have arisen from desires for enjoyment and salvation, hence they are conditional. Once their stimulus is removed, their existence will cease. Bhakti, however, is the living entity's constitutional nature. It does not arise from any cause like karma and jnana. Though an object's eternal nature may become corrupted for some reason, it does not leave the object altogether. To take shelter of such eternal nature is the purpose of human life. Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the text that determines the purport of all other scriptures, says, Itavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janma Labha Param Pumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. Whatever one may practice, Sankhya or Jnana, Karma, Yoga, in the end, remembrance of Narayan is the sole purpose of human life. Efforts for enjoyment and liberation will never yield good results if done in forgetfulness of Narayana. There was this yogi who came to the temple here a couple days ago for a program. He's like a full-on yoga teacher in India. I think he was even teaching at the ISKCON Gurukul in Vrindavan. And as we were like going between kirtans, he said something like somebody said, "Oh, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine." And then he said something like, "Oh, we are all Radha, or we are all going to become Radha," right? And I'm like, "Oh God, oh great, okay." So then when it came time to have, I was supposed to speak something, but I was like, no, let's just have a discussion. And so I was like, so what did you mean by we're all going to become Radha, right? Do you think that we're all going to become one personality, or do you think there is some individuality between us? And so we got into a whole discussion about this, and he admitted that, and he's been studying Sankhya, Patanjali Sankhya, and even within Patanjali Sankhya, they have the concept of unity and diversity. Like they have a concept that is very similar to Achintya Bheda. And we ended up, I think, reaching a really nice harmony and point. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm just dominating this reading. If you want to read something, if you feel a burning desire to read something, you can jump in. Otherwise, I'm just
I'm
gonna.
very happy to just hear. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm always available if you get tired of reading, but I do like listening. Yeah, it's
Okay.
nice.
It's holiday for you. Otherwise, you're always reading, right?
Yes.
Words of a hellbound traveler. As long as there is any vitality in my blood, I will not fail to strive to be respected among those of my ilk as a big, brave hero, for saying truth is falsity, and falsity is truth, and saints are rogues, and rogues are saints. This is the main mantra of my life. I have decided I will neglect the path of the Mahajans and condone the deceit of a deceitful fraud dressed as a devotee who all his life has been engrossed in illicit relations with women, and thus I shall take myself to hell with him. No matter how much you try to caution me, you will not be able to shake me even slightly from this firm vow. You will not be able to turn me away even slightly from the path to hell. I surely know deep down in my heart that you are speaking the words of Shastra and the Mahajans, but I am not the kind of person who will be able to join you on the path of reason and justice. Just as you are many on one side, I too have recruited many people to join my side. I am always striving to make your statement seem baseless and be cast aside, and I have been successful too. Because when there are those who are neutral and consider my views along with yours, I repeatedly slap them into submission. Just as you have scriptural statements, I have come up with so many forged manuscripts and scriptural arguments that you will really have to be worked up to disprove them. And since it is my goal to rile you up like that, if I succeed in doing so, my journey to hell will be quite pleasant. So what else do I have to worry about?
This is great.
I feel like this is like the comedy column. This is the humor column. Truth, however, will always be true. Okay. Preaching report. Greatest of orators, Swami Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Maharaj, has started speaking about Bhagavad Bhakti and performing kirtan in numerous locations in the Kanti district of Mednipur district, leading up to the annual festival at Sri Bhagavat Mutt. Pure Bhakti preacher Swami Sri Bhakti Prakāśa Aranya Maharaj is preaching Harikatha throughout the Ghatal region of Medinipur. Swami Sri Bhakti Sarvasva Giri Maharaj and Sri Bhakti Swarup Puri have journeyed to Orissa to preach there. Srimad Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha Maharaj has finished his preaching of Harikatha in Barakpur and journeyed to Palang and other places in Faridpur district to propagate Bhagavad Bhakti. The famed speaker Sri Swami Bhakti Hriday Ban Maharaj has proceeded to Asansol district to speak Harikatha. One of the Dhenkanal royal mothers of Orissa's Kharada kingdom has made her auspicious arrival at the Calcutta Gaudiya Math to have Bhagavad Darshan and hear Harikatha. And this is some local news. Girls' School. A free girls' school has been established at the home of Sri Purnendu Narayan Mukhopadhyay Mahashay in Navadip town's Deyarpada. At present, there are 60 students at this school. We hope that the school will fare well and garner everyone's support. Yesterday afternoon, there was a fire in one of the homes in the Muslim neighborhood of Bamanpukar. Due to the extensive efforts of the general public, the fire did not spread far and only claimed one home before dissipating. Those who live in thatched roof homes need to be very careful about fire during this season. Last Sunday at Sri Chaitanya Mat, a cow that was yet to have calves died of rabies from a dog bite. Babaji's burning jealousy. A person named Brajmohan Das Babaji, who lives at Kakar Mat in Ramchandrapur, was charged with libel as a result of spreading various lies about Sriman Mahaprabhu's birthplace, Sri Mayapur, Sri Chaitanya Mat, and Sri Gaudiya Mat. Readers will know that this stellar Babaji begged forgiveness and withdrew his statements. So the Mat servants forgave him and withdrew the case against him. The aforementioned Babaji was clearly not satisfied with this, so he is canvassing like his body is burning, and he is begging alms in the shelter of the Muslim community. Blessed be Kali's Babajis. It's a little jab at Rajmohan Babaji Maharaj.
I've seen his name somewhere before also, I think, when I was reading about this. Anyways.
Yeah, this Param Gurde was, I think, led the case against him. Navadvip town, violence against women. Mothers of the world, you should steady and compose yourselves now. If you want to hear the story of these animalistic crimes committed against your sisters by ignoble, arrogant rascals who call themselves residents of the Dham and benefactors of others, then hear it and do not falter. It will make your hair stand on end. This devilish dance of destruction upon the breast of the world. It has gone on unimpeded in the Sri Dham because there are not enough people in the world to check it. Amazing, Kali, amazing is your influence. Proving their animalistic tendencies, several ignoble characters associated with the widow's ashram in Navadvip town inflicted unspeakably abhorrent acts upon the late Shri Mohini Mohan Bishwas Mahashay's 10-year-old betrothed wife, destroying all signs of her chastity, and were in the process of selling her in Lahore. By some luck, the most honorable local inspector, Shri Basanta Kumar Ghatak Mahashay, found out and arrived at the scene with other officers and saved the helpless girl. In the presence of Municipal Chairman Sarananda Babu, this girl identified Lachman Das, Yogeshwar Pal, Lokanath Das, Bhavani Das, and Sumitra Dasi, who were then arrested and taken away by carriage. No one has dared to pay their bail. Yagneshwar Pal, who calls himself Yogeshwar Pandit, tried to bring this girl under his control with various bribes. No other information about the other individuals has been obtained. Shriukta Basant Babu, Bindeshwari Tiwari Habildar, Constable Ramdahin Simha, Yadanandan Simha, Thakur Goswami, and several others deserve mention for their role in saving this young girl, and their noble efforts are most praiseworthy. There's several stories like this. A resident of Jamshedpur writes to inform the train on the short line from Krishnanagar has no facility for light, so at night it is very dangerous if you are escorting a lady or carrying money on your person. I and several of my companions suffered great inconvenience when we went to Sri Mayapur to attend Sri Dham Navadvip Parikrama and the Janmotsav. If railway officials give some attention to remedying the situation, travelers will not have to suffer difficulties like that anymore. There is also dispute at Scottish Church College again. The students have stopped attending the college since last Friday. The reason: a third-year student who is the college union president at the above-mentioned college gave a speech at the student assembly that was held in Albert Hall, which has displeased the college's administration and led them to chase the students from school. The students have boycotted the college in retaliation. The dispute at City College has not yet died down. In response to the appeal, students filed previously with the syndicate to not close the hostel before summer holidays. The syndicate has ordered that the hostel be open for only another 3 days. Even today, there has been no resolution by Hiram Manat regarding students seeking to take the BA exams. It is heard that the principal will arrange for a private resolution. Since the holy riot at Rishra, there has not been another riot, but the locals are still terrified. Armed peacekeeper police guards have been stationed there. The police have written promissory notes for Sardar Pandit Gajdhar, the Wellington Mills Hindu Labor Union, and another laborer. Shukta Muthir Mudaliyar and Sethuratnam Iyer have been appointed ministers of the Madras Health and Development Departments, respectively. They swore their oaths on March 16th. Dr. Ansari went to Ahmedabad with Shukta Gandhi Mahashaya to advise on the National Muslim University and perform a health examination. It seems Gandhi Mahashaya's health is somewhat better. Ansari Mahashaya left to Delhi as of the morning of March 15th. Shukta Shailapati Chattopadhyay was a member of the Calcutta Corporation's Ward Number 9. Since he left his position, Shukta Subhash Chandra Bose has been elected in his stead. At the feast, the Afghan royal couple served at the Afghan embassy on March 16th. Besides Emperor George V and Queen Mary, the Prince of Wales, the Duke and Duchess of York, Prince Henry, and Prince Puriyatarji were invited and attended. The Afghan royal couple have been touring various regional sites of Great Britain in an unofficial capacity. This past 16th of March, they boarded a train and went to Birmingham. Many of their attendants are at the Claridge Hotel. Birmingham's Lord Mayor has greeted them. It has been almost 7 or 8 days since Lord, I don't know how to say this name, Inchcape's daughter, Elsie Mackay, accompanied by Captain Hinchcliffe, took off from Cranwell Royal Air Force Station in an aircraft named the Endeavour, with the aim of crossing the Atlantic from its eastern shore. Having still not received word of them, Lord and Lady Inchcape are very worried. It is said that several people heard a plane above a remote forest some 50 miles from the Canadian border and 20 miles northeast of Greenville, Maine. The postmaster of another small village also saw what resembled an aircraft flying toward the northeast in the very early morning. In Russia, the Soviet government...
Quick question. All the time these English words come, is it written in Bengali and you have to figure out what the word says?
Yeah. It's really annoying. Often takes me like a good half hour of research to find some of these things.
Yeah, because the English words spelt in Bengali look very funky.
Yeah, I tried to like put in, but I think this one I found there was actually some news stories. It's interesting. Some of these I've been able to find like correlating stories. If I put in the date and a few keywords, then I can find correlating stories published in the New York Times in their database. It's interesting.
Yeah.
In Russia, the Soviet government has imprisoned 2 German engineers. So trade-related communications between Russia and Germany have been closed for 3 weeks now. It cannot be said what awaits for the future. Jamshedpur, 17/3/28. One of our informants from Jamshedpur has written, the report of the strike in Jamshedpur that appeared in Nadīyā Prakāśa previously has had a positive impact. The strike was being like limited or like silenced. The strike was limited to Tata Company's crane drivers' staff. In that, everyone has received a slight increase in their modest salaries. In this context, since March 16th, many workers at Tata's only income source, the rail, mill, and coke ovens department, have gone on strike. It is heard that there is a possibility of a massive strike in all departments within the coming month of May. The strike is about getting better wages. Male peon Ramchandra Ghosh has been arrested on suspicions related to theft of the Sirajganj mailbag. He has now confessed to the SDO. Around 1,180 rupees and some portion of the insured letters have been retrieved. The 5 who were arrested have been sent to jail. On Calcutta's Upper Circular Road near Karbala Tank, a rickshaw full of passengers and a bus collided. In the rickshaw were 2 women and 2 children. Although the passengers and the rickshaw pullers suffered severe injuries, they all managed to survive. All have been sent to hospital. Complaints have been lodged against the bus driver. The former Diwan of Travancore, Diwan Bahadur M. Krishnan Nair MLC, will be appointed as Madras's legal secretary. There is no more specific information to be had in regard to pilot Hinchcliffe, but his wife is said to have told a reporter that she dropped her husband off at Cranwell Station the Saturday before last. She assumes her husband encountered favorable winds and headed towards Ireland. The Afghan couple's invitation from the London government has concluded as of March 15th, and they have left Buckingham Palace and are staying at the Claridge Hotel as guests of the government. Viscount Peel, or is it Viscount, has gone there to greet them. Reports are that the Afghan king treated Emperor King George V and Queen Mary to a dinner at the Afghan embassy on the evening of March 15th. On the morning of March 15th, Simon Commission members Lord Barnaham, Major Attlee, Mr. Kairugan arrived in Firajpur from Lahore by motor vehicle. The citizens there greeted them. There is word that they will stay in Moga on March 16th. There have been outbreaks of cholera and plague in Varanasi and surrounding areas. Reports are that 2 people have died of plague as of March 14th. Leader of the Akali Dal, Baba Gurdit Singh, was arrested on the morning of March 16th, according to the Indian Penal Code, according to Indian Penal Code 124A, treason, and 153A, spreading racial hatred. By appeal of the Bengal Regional Congress, he has been released on bail. The generosity of Americans is very praiseworthy. In a speech delivered to an assembly of the Foreign Affairs Council, Mr. Kellogg said, America has agreed to fully support whatever measures are deemed fit to lift the world out of war. America wants peace. The only means to extinguish the fire of unrest that has flared up across the world is Vivāda-bhañjana. There is no other way. And then home remedies, unfailing home remedies for acid and indigestion. If you take half a tola of haritaki, half a tola of ginger, and half a tola of saindava lavan, rock salt, at night with water, like a tablet, it will eliminate all indigestion overnight, and result in a clear stomach in the morning. Soak equal parts ajwain, haritaki, and rock salt in lemon juice, and dry them in the sun for 3 to 4 days. Once they are dried nicely, crush them and take an amount equal to 1/16 of an anna. This will effectively eliminate acidity and indigestion. Roast
1/16 of an anna. An anna is what? That's really complicated.
No, it's like the standard measurements in Bengal.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
You're more familiar with it. Roast asafoetida, hing, and ghee, and grind it to make a powder. Take a 1/16 anna pinch of this powder along with rock salt with the first bite of your rice. I like the idea of that. I really like hing. Doing this for 3 to 4 consecutive days promotes good digestion. Take 1 lime, half a tola black salt, half a tola rock salt, 1 tola fennel, 1 tola ajwain, 1 tola radhuni, similar to ajwain, 1 tola ginger, and 1 tola roasted cloves. Take these ingredients, powdered, and mix with lime juice. If you don't have lime, then lemon juice, to make pea-sized balls and leave to dry. If you have acidity or indigestion, take 2 to 3 pills with lemon juice or water. After taking the medicine, drink some cold water. This will remove all manner of poor digestion and acidity, and after an hour and a half or 2 hours, you are sure to be hungry. At night before bed, roast 4 or 5 cloves on the fire till they puff. Chew a few of these cloves and drink some cold water and go to bed. Even if you have had a heavy meal, you will digest it easily, will not have any indigestion for brahmacharis on feast days.
Yes.
And I think that...
Shubhanandaru, do you approve of all these remedies?
Yes, the first one which mentions Haritaki, ginger, sendho, the 3 combinations, I think. So the best option. One of the old Vaidya from Varanasi used to call this combination as Amrutadi Churna. So very, I'm personally using it in my practice also. This first one, half tola of Haritaki, half tola of ginger, and half tola of sendho. I made tablets for my personal practice. It's very, very important and very good. As a whole, these 3 things are not as such medicine. The 3 things are also considered in Ayurveda as a daily diet, like Haritaki, Amalki, and Bibitaki. These 3 things, people call them as Trifala, and basically these are fruits. So they can be considered as a daily, like a diet, and even like as a medicine, but practically we consider them as diet only. So one can have them regularly.
Like you don't need to have, like, everybody should have it, basically, right? Like
yes, there is
okay.
a famous Sanskrit word saying that you can note it, that Harim Haritakim Chaiva Harim Haritakim Chaiva Jannavi Jalam Smared Bhakshet Japet Gayatri Jannavi Jalam. These 4 things: Harim, Haritaki, Gayatri, and Jannavi, like Ganga ji. So today is Ganga Dashera. So for Antar Mala Vinashaya, to reduce the internal all those mala, Harim Smaret Haritakim Bhajet, Harim Haritaki Chaiva Gayatri Jannavi Jalam Antarmala Vinashaya Smared Bhakshet Japet Pibet. These are 4 things. Smaret, Hari Smaret, Bhakshet Haritakim, like you have to eat the Haritaki daily, and then Gayatri Japet, Gayatri mantra jap, and the last is Pibet. You drink Ganga water, Sri Ganga ji.
Drink
So
Ganga.
Haritaki, one must take it. It's because nowadays there is a whole in the old age, people are getting old and they're losing their memory also, long term Alzheimer, like that, dementia. These are Haritaki particularly helps to maintain your intelligence lifelong. It's very rasayan drogya. So one should have it daily. Maybe from 2 grams to 10 grams or even 20 grams daily also, dose can be increased, but for general use one can have it from around 5 to 6 or 8 grams daily.
Are you able to eat, like, just like I can see there, like Haritaki is like some sort of seed pod or something, or a fruit. You
Yes,
can just
there are many types actually. There is a small Haritaki which generally one can have. This is called Bal Haritaki, like child Haritaki. And the one which is most costly is coming from Himalaya, which is called Surwari Hedda. Surwari, so very specific. And that is having many more higher qualities, and it's little costlier than average regular Haritaki. That is regenerative, like it can regenerate many tissues also in bodies if it is taken as a rasayan, rejuvenating therapy. So Haritaki is we should have. I think I have heard, I didn't read it yet, but I have heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to have Haritaki after his lunch prasadam.
That sounds familiar.
wasn't that like the dowry or something was like of for Lakshmi Priya or something like that, was like a few haritakis or something like that?
He
Yes,
sounds
yes, yes,
familiar.
yes. We read it in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam regarding
Right.
Sri Mahaprabhu's marriage ceremony. There was mention of Haritaki.
They said like I'm poor, so the only dowry I can give is like 4 haritakis or something like that. Something very interesting like that. I have to look that up again. That was interesting. Thank you, Shubhananda Prabhu.
Thank you.
Really... Sarveshwari Mataji, were you?
Thank you.
Oh, were you able to get your sound working? You're muted right now. No, still no sound. I don't know what's happening. It's very strange. Sorry about that. All right. So I guess I'll end with a little kirtan and just a short Mahamantra. And if Sarveshwari Mataji gets her sound working, then we can hear what our question is. Or if you want to type it up also, you can. All right.
Maybe her settings, sound settings.
Yeah, if you go down to the mic it's like on Zoom, if you go down to the bottom left corner, it says that you see the mic there, and you click on the little up arrow, and then you can select which microphone. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Oh, and before I do Jaidwani, I just want to mention that all these articles are available on, all these issues, are available on nadiyaprakāsh.com, NADIYAPRAKASH.com. And also you can find more articles and things translated by Śrīvāsa on his personal website, bigdrum.us. I highly recommend you go there and subscribe to the mailing list so that when he sends it out, you'll get it in your inbox. And Śrīvāsa shared the file in the meeting. Cool, thanks.
No, I just shared. This is a Ganga Devi. I think it's a Ganga Devi from here in Bali.
Oh, the picture.
Yeah, I'm just gonna zoom in. You can kind of see she's holding a pot. There's a swan, and then I think that's her vahana, like this crocodile beside her, and very beautiful.
Wow, Balinese art is just magnificent.
Yeah, so ornate, so beautiful.
Wow, so beautiful. Wow, that's from yesterday, huh?
Yeah, we had to go way off into the mountains. It's so lush and beautiful here. Amazing.
Wow, I wanna go there sometime. Jai, Ganga Devi ki Jai. Oh,
Jai.
and before Śrīvāsa does Chaitanya, this I'm mentioning again, if anybody wants to go to, like I did a reading right on the bank of the Ganga this morning, about Ganga Devi from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're both of their glorifications of Ganga Devi. And also I sang the Ganga Stotram. So if anybody wants to see that video, you can go to my YouTube channel and or YouTube Facebook page. I posted it both places in honor of Ganga Devi. All right, Śrīvāsa, would you like to do Jayadvani?
Sure. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Radha Binu Bihari Radha Ramana Bihari Ki Jai. Jai Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. जय नितिलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जय नितिलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय. जय नितिलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्यलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जय सपार्षद जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. महाभागवत प्रभु श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय. वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. गौड़ी वेदांताचार्य श्री बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय. तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय. जय श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय. रसिक शिरोमणि श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय. नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्रय की जय. श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. नवदीप मायपुर धाम की जय. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश मनपशि मंडल धाम की जय. राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज यमुना गंगा भक्ति तुलसी देवी की जय. सर्वाभीष्ट प्रदाता श्री गिरिराज महाराज की जय. जय श्री भक्ति विघ्न विनाशंकारी श्री नृसिंह भगवान की जय. भक्त प्रभा श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्रजू की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. चारि धाम चारि आचार्य चारि संप्रदाय की जय. आकर मठराज श्री चैतन्य मठ की जय. श्री दैनिक नदिया प्रकाश की जय. जय त्रिभुवन मंगल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत ऑनलाइन भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि.
पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो. All right, see you all next time. Sorry, Shri Mataji, you didn't get the mic working yet, right? Nope, I'm sorry. Anyhow, next time. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah. All right. All right, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you. See you all next time. Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol. Oh, and tomorrow I'm going to do a Bhaktivinoda Giti Dhara session. We're going to sing through all the songs of the Atma Nivedan section of Sharanagati. Yesterday, I read the translations and sang the verse. Tomorrow, I'm just going to sing each line twice so that you can also get practice singing it. So, all right, Hari Bol. See you all.